pregame warm-up, presented by Scott Credit Union. Your St. Louis
BlueNote Fan Report. Aloha and mahalo. I am Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and this is the show that's all about you. That's right. We're going to be talking playoff hockey. That time of the year. Oh, there we go. Braden Shen, when is he coming back? I don't know. Hopefully Monday. Playoff preview. For the love of God, stop giving up 7 goals. They've done that too many times. In all fairness, both Husto and Bennigan have been in goal when this happened, and it has. Ian's amped up for Monday. Game time 8:30 from Minnesota. That's right. We're on the road, and I'm not alone. Let me bring in my buddy, my pal, my friend, and our rival. It is Windy City Hockey. Hey, Nick, how are you doing, my friend?
Oh, doing all right.
Oh, that's good to know. Are you excited for Monday?
To see Minnesota win, yeah.
Oh, you can kiss my ass. You know that right there. You shut up. Oh, don't come on my show and just go and disrespect me right off the get-go.
Gotta give you a little crap.
I know, and Nick, I think we've figured each other out well enough now that we know we can give each other a little bit of a hard time. That's all it is. That we have a pretty decent friendship that is evolving over the NHL, and I appreciate that. Right. So if you're so anti-Blues, you got to get in my Pick'em challenge, bud.
Have to send me the link.
Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. I did it through Facebook. You're not on Facebook though, are you?
No, I'm not on Facebook.
I got to see if I can figure out the NHL side of it, because where I did it. Oh, here we go. This might work. Let me send this to you, and you can tell me if this works or not. I'll send it in our chat.
All right.
And you tell me if this works. If it works, I'll tell you what the password is.
Yeah.
All right. There you go, bud. I sent it. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Let's see where we at here. Got Ryan Green saying, Windy, besides cheering for the team we are playing, what team do you hope goes all the way? Well, hold on. We'll get there. Let us go through all the playoffs. You're jumping ahead of the gun there, Ryan. Nick, one day when the Hawks are in the playoffs and the Blues aren't, Guy owes you one. Did it work?
Yeah.
Okay, it's Let's Go Blues with the capital LGB.
Oh, God.
Yours is probably Go Hawks Go.
No, I don't even have a password. Mine's public.
Oh, yours is public. I'm giving away a prize, so I didn't want to make it public. Because what happens when you make it public is you get somebody that jumps in last second when they see that they can win that group.
Mm-hmm. So
right?
Here, could you just type in the password so I just am not typing something in wrong?
Okay. Hold on.
I also made my predictions today for people to, if they want to see that.
Yeah, I did. I know you did that, and that's why we're kind of bringing you on today. And actually, we're going to wait about 15 minutes or so before we go. I'm going to wait for Ashley to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And once Ashley gets here, then we'll start breaking all of them down.
I'm honestly saying that this year is going to be the toughest bracket challenge. I feel like
it is. I agree. I mean, you got 13 teams that are over 100 points. That's never happened before.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have any team that's in the playoffs that shouldn't be in the playoffs. You have teams that are playing very, very hot down the end. You have the best teams in the power play, in the penalty kill, special teams in there. The teams that should be there are there.
Yeah.
And there's no team in my eyes that sets itself so far above anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like even Florida playing the Caps. I think that's not a sweep.
Yeah.
Right? That's not a sweep. It's a 6-gamer. I don't see many 5-gamers.
I see a couple fivers.
Well, I know one of them.
Which one?
Yeah, I guaranteeing you've got Blues Minnesota at 5.
No.
No? 6?
No.
Oh, you got it going 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that we'll get more into it, but I didn't see many fivers. I see a lot of coin flips. I mean, there's a lot of series that you could coin flip. There's 2 of them in the West, in my eyes, that you could coin flip.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of them.
Say again?
There's a couple of them because I know a few teams are dealing with injuries going into it.
Okay, there is no username. If the username is your name, so you have to sign on to NHL.com. You have to have an NHL.com account, which is just a password and that are an email and a password, and then sign on like that, and then you join it. But you have to sign in to NHL.com to join the bracket challenge. Right? Let's see.
Wait for this to sign my actual bracket I already have.
There might be. I don't know.
I know it was a thing a few years ago.
Yeah. Stephen Glass says, actually, I think I had 15 people in it. Yeah, the last 16 now. So I'm guessing you just joined.
Yeah.
So that's not bad, you know. One of the bracket names is Let's Go Blues. I got Aaron Coulter in there, Jose Dynamite in there, Steve O in there, which I think that might be Steve G, Stephen Green, Chris Shockey's in there, Cujo 29, Sport Street. I think I know who that is, and Brandour Nation.
My bracket's now assigned to it. I managed to get it fixed.
Yeah.
I'm in multiple challenges this year, but I use the same bracket because I'm not.
Use the same bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a smart way to go. That is.
I also have one bracket where I just do a freaking screw around bracket, just knowing. Let's see what happens if this stupid bracket manages.
Yeah, I usually do a bracket like that too. Let's bring in our buddy, our pal, and our friend, Mr. Lance Scott from the Drop.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hey Lance, how you doing?
Not too bad.
We're gonna wait for Ashley to get here. She said about 8:15, and then we'll start our playoff breakdown. I just a quick question. So one of the things that one of my buddies from I was on Full Press Hockey's Last Word on Hockey today. And one of the guys that I know put out a top 5 storylines for the NHL. And let me see if I can bring that up here real quick. I thought he was missing a huge storyline. And I want to let's see if I can find it real quick. Their site isn't that easy on
no, it's not.
Searching. It's hard to search for things on their site. So I might have to go to the front page. But of his 5 storylines, there was basically 2 things that I thought he was missing, and I brought it up on his show. I want to bring up what his. Here we go. I want to bring up what his 5 storylines were, and then see if you guys think he's missing anything, and then bring up what I think is the biggest storyline. If I can get it to come up.
By the way, Nick, how you doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
Good, not too bad. Did you get Mr. Foley to sign that jersey yet?
No, I have. There's a autograph signing that's happening in June that I'm trying to go to.
Oh, cool.
That's how I would have a chance to get it autographed.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Okay, here's the top 5 storylines. Number 1, can Toronto and Florida get out of the first round? Number 2, can Tampa Bay Lightning three-peat? Number 3, is this finally Colorado's year? Number 4, is this the last run for the Pittsburgh Penguins? My answer is yes. And number 5 is, are the Edmonton Oilers for real? Are there any storylines that you think he's forgotten, or any storylines that you think are bigger than the storylines he has?
Well, I do think there's a storyline that maybe isn't big unless you're a Blues fan.
Yeah.
Is can Ville Husso take the Blues far in the playoffs?
Did they announce Husso as number 1 for playoffs?
They haven't yet.
Well,
They haven't.
I've been told two different things. I got two people in the Blues organization that I talked to. The one that I don't trust as much said Husso starting. The one that I trust more says Bennington starting. So,
yeah,
I mean, and I hate doing that, but I like to talk to two people so I can confirm it and say two people said it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just hearsay. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Aaron, the guy that wrote this is from New Jersey, so I can see the East Coast bias. I don't have an issue with that.
And you know what? There are a lot of storylines in the conference.
Yeah, there are, but there's a storyline that I think is hugely missed.
Okay.
Do you know that going back 10 years, that a team ranked 3rd or lower has been in the Cup Finals? Who's that team this year? Who's that underdog team? Who's that team that we didn't expect, that you don't expect to win this cup, that's gonna be there?
Don't say the Blues. Don't say the Blues, because the Blues aren't an underdog.
They were still a 3rd seed, bud.
It still doesn't matter.
They had to win. They had to win 3 of their series on the road. They were an underdog in 3 of their series, or actually they were an underdog in all 4 of their series.
I think
they were not favored to win any of those series.
The team that could be the storyline is the LA Kings to watch out for.
Yeah, I agree.
Jonathan Quick in playoff hockey is ridiculous.
Yep.
And just watch out for Jonathan Quick stealing a series or two.
Right?
And he's got them playing a physical game too. They may not be the most offensively talented team, but anytime you've got a good coach that's got playoff experience, whether he's won a cup or not in the past, and you've got a goaltender that's done very well in the playoffs over his career, it's a recipe for success.
Yeah.
I actually disagree. I think the Blues are a bit of an underdog this season. The only series right now that I could see them favored in might be this one, and I think this one's a coin flip.
Well, the only underdogs to me, and I mean, it would be a team like Nashville. Nobody expected them to do a lot this year. They've been playing very well, and Wendy knows, Nick knows, they seem to have Chicago's number this year. And, they
seem to have our number for every year now.
Yeah, and they've played very well since probably the end of February, 1st of March.
Yeah.
But I could see Guy where you would think they were an underdog. I just don't, but I can understand why you would feel that way.
Dallas is also a team to watch out for since they're playing against Pacific Division teams.
Hawaii, it's the Hawaii Blues Fan. The name of the group on the name of my challenge is Hawaii Blues Fan. Nick sent me his. I'm going to put that in my group so you guys can join his also. He's only got 6 people in there. We got to get more people in there. I'm not going to pick until tomorrow. I really want to have a better look at some of these before I completely know. So what I say today could change tomorrow. We don't know. But there are some, I think that you're going to get a surprise team. Lance, you one of the things that you brought up a lot is that what happens in the regular season doesn't matter in the playoffs, right?
When it comes to teams playing each other. In other words, if a team beat a team 2 out of the games they played or 4 out of the games they played, I give that 0-0,
Okay, well, let me tell you something. You'd be surprised to know this. Over the past 10 seasons, a team who has won the season series versus an opponent is 65-46. Now, the thing for that is that's in the first 2 rounds. Once it gets into the conference finals and the finals, that kind of changes. But in the first 2 rounds, when you're seeing somebody from your conference, actually it does matter. When you're looking at 65-46, that's
not that much, because if you go down 65-46, that's 111 games. So
111 series.
Okay, so 111 series. That's 56 and 55. Yeah, it's 12 games over 500, but it's not like it's so overwhelming. And like I said the other day, nobody on the Blues is looking at this going, "Damn, we didn't get home ice, and home ice was so important to us." That's been my point.
Wait, hold on. We'll get there. We'll get there. I didn't say home ice. I didn't say home ice. You're putting words in my mouth. I said the head-to-head series, right? I said the head-to-head series.
Yeah, but
hold on.
if it's going to be overwhelming,
that's 60%. 60% of the teams that have won the
that's 10% over 50-50. That's not that much.
It's a lot more than you think.
You're reaching,
right?
guy. You're reaching.
I'm not reaching. I'm not the one that put that stat out, by the way. Now, the other part of this is home ice, right? Over the previous 10 postseasons, excluding 2020, nearly half of all best-of-7 series were won by the lower seed, 48.9%, 66 of 135 series.
That's 50-50.
In the 2021 Stanley Cup playoffs, a whopping 10 of 15 series were won by a team who started the series on the road. Among the last 10 Stanley Cup champions, 6 had to win at least 2 series as the lower seed on their path to winning the Cup. Do you know any of them, Wendy, off the top of your head?
The Blues.
Blues were one, yes. 2019 Blues, they won three on the road.
The Capitals?
The Capitals, yes, they won 2 on the road.
The Kings.
I don't think it's the Lightning.
Yep, the Lightning had to win 2021. They won 2 of their series on the road.
Well, the Kings.
The Kings
say again?
Years ago.
The Kings.
Both the Kings in 2012 and 2014.
Yeah.
In 2012, they won all of their series on the road.
Pittsburgh.
And in 2014, they won 3 of their series on the road.
So this is why I'm saying home ice advantage doesn't matter.
Okay. The one that I'm surprised Nick didn't get was the 2015 Blackhawks.
Yeah, because we had to go on the road for 3 of the 4 series.
3 of them. Mm-hmm. You won 3 of them, yeah.
Yeah, 20.
Right.
There was the first round against Nashville, third round against Anaheim, and the Stanley Cup final against Tampa.
We're waiting on you, Ashley. We're waiting on you. I'm reaching everybody. Right. You know what? In sports, the look at Major League Baseball. The difference between a 500 team and a team in the playoffs is like 5 games, 10 games. You know, it's not that much, right? When you look at when you look at 500 is 81 and 81. Right, 162 games. Mm-hmm. Getting in the playoffs is 95 games, 96 wins. Right, very rarely do you get to the 100-win mark in Major League Baseball. You're talking about 15 games. That's it. The difference between 500 and the playoffs is 15 games. Right, and sports, you know, the 60-40 is a lot bigger split than you would think. We're waiting on you, Ash. Right? I don't know where she is. I don't know if she's coming anymore. So we'll just go ahead and get started with the playoffs preview. We'll start on the East. I need to pull it up just to make sure I don't screw any of this up because I'm so good at doing that. We'll start in the East. I'm trying to remember. I just went absolutely blank. Here we go. Okay. In the East, we're going to start with the 2 versus 3 matchup of the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the New York Rangers. Start with Wendy. Where's your feeling on this one there, Win?
Well, I would say this. I have the Rangers in 5 here. The reason behind it is because I don't think the fact that the Penguins starting Casey DeSmith over Tristan Jarry is a smart move. And if the Rangers just steamroll the Penguins in game 1 of the series, the Penguins are going to be flustered because we've seen it in the last 3 playoffs. The Penguins have been falling apart as soon as they lose their first game by the fact a goaltending blunder happens. They're going to have issues. This is their final run with Malkin, Crosby, Letang, all three of them together, because Malkin and Letang likely gone after this during this offseason.
Fair enough. Lance?
I think it's going to come down to goaltending, like Nick said. Gorgiev, I'll take him any day over to Smith. And I think if the Smith comes out and bombs, I don't see him in the second game. I think they'll make a quick goalie change. I really do. I don't have a lot of confidence in him. To me, he's one of those hit or miss goalies. He can be really good.
Yeah.
And, allow one goal in the next game, he allows 5 goals. And you can't do that in the playoffs. You got to be consistent. Plus, like Nick said, they've got a lot of guys that are getting long in the tooth. Not old, but they're not in their prime. Crosby's not in his prime. Letang's not in his prime, and Malkin's not in his prime. And Brown's going to retire, and he looked a little gassed towards the end of the season. So, I just think that the Rangers, in 5 or 6, this definitely will not go 7 games.
A couple months ago, I wrote that article about my top 10.
Yep.
And I had I had the Pittsburgh and the Rangers 9 and 10, and I actually think that the Rangers are going to win this. And I think the Rangers in 6. I don't think it'll be 5. In fact, I don't see many 5 series here. You don't want to join us?
My belly's hurting, but I'm here.
Okay.
Because you were reaching.
I wasn't reaching at all, but
you were totally reaching. Your argument proved Lance's point that the home ice doesn't matter.
I never said home ice mattered.
You've been saying it the whole time.
I said the season series matters.
No, it doesn't.
I said the season series matters, not that home ice mattered. Big difference, right?
All right.
So
yeah,
what did you pick
I
on the Rangers Pittsburgh?
I believe I picked them in 6. The Rangers.
Rangers in 6. Okay, so let's go to the next one. And the next one is, and now I can't find what I was looking for.
Toronto, Tampa.
Toronto, Tampa.
Yeah, we'll do Toronto, Tampa. Thank you.
Ashley, you want to
start
go
with
first?
Nick on this one.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead and we'll start with Lance on this one.
The reason the Maple Leafs, in my mind, will not go far this year, their defensive depth and their goaltending. Everybody's saying Soup is, Campbell's is going to be the difference. And, even if he plays up to his standards and plays when he played well, because he was a very hot goalie for about 2-3 months. Even if he plays well, I think their defense is going to let him down. I like Morgan Riley. He's a very good defenseman. I put him in the top 15 defensemen in the league. But other than that, Jake Muzzin, he's okay. He's got experience in the playoffs. But, this is another one that I think is going to come down to defense and goaltending. And I'm going to take Andrei Vasilevsky's team over 99% of the other teams, because right now, in my mind, Andrei Vasilevsky is the best goalie. I think it could be a 6 or 7 game series, though.
Yeah. Ashley?
I'm trying to pull it up because I did my bracket already.
Well, I'll jump to Wendy while Ashley's working on her bracket. I haven't done mine. Which bracket was yours? The Let's Go Blues?
I'm not sure. I thought I put it under Slapshot, but
yeah, I didn't see Slapshot on there as one of the brackets. Bracket names. I was looking.
I thought I did.
So
let's see. I had Let's Go Blues, Aaron Coulter, Jose Dynamite, Steve G, Chris Shockey, Cujo 29, Sports Street, Border Nation, Windy City Hockey Bracket. Yeah, that's all of them.
Maybe I did mine on a random one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I clicked on your link and I know I did it. I'm pretty sure that I went with Tampa in 7.
Right. So E is Cujo 29. So now we know. Where did you go with that one on, Wendy?
This series is the fact that we know Toronto has that issue of trying to make it out of the first round. They haven't done it since 2002 with Matt Sundin still on the team.
Yeah.
The Maple Leafs have that issue in pedigree of losing. The the Lightning, who wear Maple Leaf jerseys, let's be honest, those are the same jerseys and same colors. The Lightning have the best goalie in the world in Andre Vasilevsky, hands down, and it's no debate. Vasilevsky in playoff hockey is known to shut a team down when it comes to hockey, when it comes to big games. The Lightning going into this series, I have Lightning in 6. I give the Maple Leafs 2 games in this series, but the fact that the Lightning have the pedigree of winning back-to-back championships and trying to do it for the 3rd straight year, I have to go with Tampa Bay in this series in 6.
Right. I kind of like this series. I think this is one of those that goes 7. I like Toronto to get to the second round. However, this isn't the team that I think Toronto wanted to play, right? I think the last thing that you wanted to do was end up with Tampa Bay, the 2-time defending champs. So I do have to go with Tampa Bay on this one. Okay, so let's go to the number 1 seeds. This is going to be an interesting one. The Carolina Hurricanes versus the Boston Bruins. And we'll start with Ashley.
I picked the Hurricanes because obviously they are a threat. They have played an excellent season, and I just don't think that Boston has the chemistry this season to beat them.
Okay, we'll go with Lance.
I would love to pick the Hurricanes. I really would. But, I don't remember any real big playoff success since they won the Cup years ago. I love Rob Brindamore as a coach. I loved him as a player. This is a tough one to me because if Tuukka Rask was still in goal, I would say Boston in 7. So I'm kind of iffy. I'm torn, but I'll go ahead and I'll go with Carolina in 7. I think it's going to be a long series. I think Boston isn't the team they used to be. They're trying to get younger, and I wouldn't call it a rebuild. They still got Marchand, they still got Bergeron. They have a nice core with Jake DeBrusk and a few other players, but defensively they're not what they used to be. And without Tuukka Rask, they're just so similar to a lot of teams where they don't know who their 1A and 1B is. So I'm going to go Carolina in 7.
Okay. What about you there, Wendy?
I also have Carolina in 7 here. The reason why I think it goes 7 is strictly because the goaltending situation in both sides. Linus Ullmark has never played in a playoff game before in net because he was in the dumpster fire of the Buffalo Sabres for so long. Then they also have Jeremy Swayman, who's a rookie, and it sounds like Swayman is going to be the number 1 goalie in the playoffs for the Bruins. On Carolina's side, they have Freddie Anderson, who had a hell of a season in net for them, but he's coming in injured. They also have Antti Raanta, who was a 3rd-string Stanley Cup winning goalie back in 2015 with the Hawks, and he's coming in injured. The Hurricanes have that situation of injured goalies, but they still have the better offensive play and better defensive play to get around and potentially go far in the playoffs.
Yeah, for me, it all comes down to how hurt Fred Anderson is, right? It all comes down to how hurt Anderson is. I see this one going 7 too. And the only reason I see it going 7 is because Anderson's hurt, right? I don't think Boston has the firepower. They can steal a game or two, but I don't see them winning the series. I do have Carolina winning this series. Now this is the most interesting series for me in the East is the next one, and that's Florida versus the Washington Capitals. I'll start with Nick on this one.
Well, I have this series pretty quick finish. It's going to be 5 games going to the Florida Panthers. Why? It's because the Capitals have a injured Alex Ovechkin, and the Panthers have just been steamrolling teams. Once they get to 4 goals in a game, they go right to defense and they don't allow you to score more than 2. That's why I have the Panthers in 5 here.
We'll go with Ashley on next.
I have the Panthers in 7. I see Washington putting up a fight, but I just ultimately don't see them able to stop the Panthers with the injury to Ovechkin, and they still have firepower and Oshie and what have you. So I don't see them going down without a fight, but I don't think they have enough oomph to get over it.
Lance?
Yeah, I love Kuznetsov. You know, for a while there, Washington was trying to trade him to the Blues for Tarasenko. And I love Tarasenko, but if it would have been for Kuznetsov, I would have been upset to see Tank leave. But, you know, like Ashley said and like Nick said, you know, the Ovechkin being hurt, people don't understand he's more than just a goal scorer. Ovechkin will throw his body around. You know, he will. He can get physical. You know, he was taught that when he played in Russia. You know, those teams over in Russia, a lot of times they play physical against the boards. And if you take that away from him and he focuses purely on offense, I think he's going to be a liability defensively. I don't think Samsonov is going to be better than Bob. I just don't. Bobrovsky, you know, he's just one of those goalies that if he gets hot, and he's been playing pretty well lately, he's going to lead the Panthers to a lot of success in the playoffs. And I'm with Nick. I picked the Panthers in 5 games.
I don't think it. I think it goes more than 5. I really do. I think that the Caps, the one thing that the Caps have over the Panthers is playoff experience and solid playoff experience. They've got rings on that team, right? They don't have the goaltending is their biggest question for me. I think their goaltending is a bigger question than Ovi is, because 70% Ovi is better than a lot of guys 100%. Right? If he's out there, well, put it this way. Let's say he is only at 70% and they put him out there and teams make a mistake and not covering him. Well, he's going to burn you. Well, then they cover him and somebody else is open. And those guys are going to burn you. Either way, he either is a decoy or is the guy doing it. He's going to burn you. I seen this one going 7, but I do eventually see the Panthers getting into the second round.
I don't even think Ovi is going to be used as a decoy. People know he has a shoulder injury.
Yeah.
They're going to, his shot's not going to be as strong as it is. If he's playing with a shoulder injury, players are going to target it.
Yep.
And they are going to make sure if he's passing first, he's passing first. Who else has a weaker shot than on that team? It's going to be him passing over. He has a shoulder injury. It's going to be tough for him to get much going.
Yeah, when your shoulder's injured and you try to get leverage with that shot, you know, it's if it's 70% there. I mean, we all saw it with Tarasenko, didn't we, Guy and Ashley? Yeah. When that shoulder was, they said he was healed, but he wasn't fully healed. He just didn't have the confidence in the shot, and even when he did take a shot, it wasn't the same shot. Now, getting back to guarding Ovechkin, I think we can all agree that what teams don't guard him. They leave him open in the circle constantly. So, but I think in the playoffs, like Guy said and Wendy said, I just think that he's better than most other players at 60-70%. But is he good enough to get him to win in 7 games? I just don't see it.
Well, okay, that's what we're here for. So let's go into the West. Now, the West, this is the other storyline that I think he missed, is the power of the Central. The Central has been the best division in the NHL for a while now, right? And I'm sorry, it has. It's the only division that's had 5 or more teams in it. Look at the bubble. It was the only division that every team in the division got in.
And I think we just lost Guy.
Yeah, I think we did too. He froze.
Yeah, he sure did. That internet is terrible in Hawaii.
Yeah, tell me about it.
must be a fun place to be, but the Wi-Fi, holy cow!
Every time I've been to Hawaii, and people will tell me, "Oh, I've got a gig internet here." I'm like, nah.
I'm kicking him out.
All right, let him come back
and then
in.
seeing if he unfreezes and can come back in on his own.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, it totally got quiet. He's standing by.
All right.
He'll be back.
Okay.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yeah. Internet went down on me. So what I was saying is the Central Division has been one of the best divisions in, and you look at even last year with the teams being separated, they still got 5 teams in, right?
Mm-hmm.
St. Louis, Minnesota, Colorado, Winnipeg, and Nashville all make the playoffs. Winnipeg and Nashville made it in completely different division, right?
Mm-hmm.
The bubble, they had all 7 teams in. 3 of the last, but let's see, you go back, 3 of the last 5 teams from the West have been from the Central, right? The Central, and then you add the Blackhawks in the last 10 years, they've got what, two Stanley Cup championships in the last 10 years, right? The Central has been that division, and now they're that division again. So one of the first matchups we'll talk about is the 2v3 of the Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings. We'll start with Ashley.
I mean, that one is going to be a more exciting series than I think people give credit for. Hold on, I'm pulling up my bracket because I finally got it to work. I believe I have the Oilers winning that one. Where'd it go? Yeah, I had the Kings winning that one. Strange. I have the Kings in 7 just because Connor McDavid has terrible luck in the playoffs, and I expect that to continue. Their goaltending has been better as of late, but it is still shaky with their older goaltender being injured several times during the season. I don't know if he'll be able to keep up in the playoffs. I think they'll fight hard for it. I see the series going in 7 games, but I don't want to underestimate Jonathan Quick because he can do a lot of good things too.
Oh no, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Lance?
Well, the Kings in my mind could be one of the big spoilers. I know Calgary has taken on Daryl Sutter's kind of a persona, play physical, play hard, play in the corners, do what you need to do no matter what in Calgary. But, it still comes down to Matthew Tkachuk and Johnny Gaudreau and guys like that. And Johnny Gaudreau has never showed up in the playoffs because of his size. People take him out of his game. They hit him. They knock him around, and it really takes him off his game. And I hate to see it because he's a talented player. I think this is going to be the upset of the first round, and I'm taking the Kings in 6.
Wow. Wendy?
Going into this series, I think this might be the series to watch just because the Kings and Oilers just seem like a fun series to pay attention to. You have a young and upcoming team that may be a year ahead of their rebuild in the LA Kings. And then you have the high power offense of the Edmonton Oilers with an old goaltender. You also have a defense that plays weak defensively because I admit he may be a legend to Chicago and Duncan Keith, but he's on the back end of his career in Edmonton. But with that being said, you cannot underestimate a goaltender who knows how to play playoff hockey. He nearly handed Vegas their first playoff series loss in year 1 and with LA versus Vegas. So I'm taking Jonathan Quick and the LA Kings in 7 over the Edmonton Oilers.
And can I say something real quick? I've got my bracket set up to where the Flames and the Oilers are right next to each other. So that's why I said the Flames. But still, the question with me with the Oilers is goaltending. With Smith and Koskinen. It's just not good enough. And the Kings are going to be physical. And I don't think the Oilers can push that physicality back. And I think Todd McClellan's got his team ready, like I said earlier, to really push him. It's going to be a 7-game series, but I see the Kings winning it again. Sorry about the mix-up.
It's all right.
No problem. It happens. I was checking on hey, we got a couple more people in your league there, Wendy.
Okay, thanks.
All right, we'll try and get you some more. We got 18 in mine. Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that. I like seeing that number. You're in there, Slapshot. I see you now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably forgot to submit it, right?
Probably.
Okay. Who have I covered everybody on this one? Did I ask you, Ashley, on this one? Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. So me, I actually like LA's game. I don't like LA's game against Edmonton. Mike Smith is the X factor here, how well he's going to play. And then the other X factor is McDavid. McDavid does not play well with others. He doesn't get along in the sandbox. And I know that doesn't make sense to most people, and most people think I'm completely out of it, but this guy doesn't elevate those around him to get them to the next level. And even this season, he hasn't shown it. I mean, they did have some periods of brightness, but overall, I mean, if be honest, if Vegas doesn't falter, they don't make the playoffs. I don't think Edmonton makes the playoffs. I've always had LA there. I don't think Edmonton makes the playoffs if Vegas doesn't falter. I just gotta I shake my head. This is my 50-50 matchup. It's going 7 games. You know, I'll flip a coin 100 times and pick the winner later because I don't know. Right. We'll go. We won't do the other 2-3 just yet. We'll hold on that one for last. So we'll stick in the Pacific with the 1VWC2, our WC1, the Calgary Flames against the Nashville Predators. Is that right?
Hey,
yeah.
No, it's Dallas.
Oh, Dallas against Dallas. Okay, flip-flop. Calgary Flames against the Dallas Stars. I'll start with Nick on this one.
This is a series to be that is interesting. It's a rematch from a couple of years. The Flames and Stars met up in the playoffs a couple of years ago, and the Stars upset them. This time around, I don't think it's going to happen because the Flames under Daryl Sutter have been just brutal to play against. They have multiple players that hit 100 points this season, and Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Tkachuk. Mm-hmm. They have 4 lines rolling. Jacob Markstrom is one of the top goalies in the league this year. And all the Stars have going for themselves, they've been playing playoff hockey for the last couple of months to try and battle to get into the wild card spot. That could be a benefit for them, but I have the Flames in 6 here just because I think Daryl Sutter and his coaching staff can get the Flames to shine in the playoffs.
I will check Roland. Give me a moment. So we'll go with Ashley next. Sorry, man, my head's not 100% in the game tonight.
I also have the Flames in 6. They've just, as soon as Daryl Sutter came, they just turned it on. Like everything clicked at one point in time, and they went on a roll with Tkachuk and Gaudreau. And I don't know that they're going to be a team that anyone can beat in the first round. So Dallas, unfortunately, will have to go, even though I like, what's his name, Robinson?
Jason Robinson.
Yeah, I really like him on Dallas, but I just don't see that being enough to beat Calgary. So, yeah, Flames 6.
Lance?
Well, I think we all remember what Daryl Sutter did in Los Angeles, don't we? He knocked the Blues out of the playoffs several times by that style that they're playing in Calgary. It's that tough-nosed style, take you out of your offensive flow. And I think that's what they're going to try to do with Dallas. And in my mind, Dallas is a decent team. I just don't think they have enough there in the tank and enough talented players. They've got some good young players, but I just don't see them with their goaltending situation beating the Flames. I mean, the Flames are going to be a team that if you do play them in a series, whether you win or lose, you're going to know you played the Flames, just like the Blues knew they played the Kings. They played hard-nosed, and I think it's going to be a 5-game series. Actually, Calgary wins this one in 5.
I don't see it being that. I do like the Flames in this one, and it's the X factor for me. The X factor in this one is Johnny Gaudreau, right? Johnny Gaudreau is a free agent, and he's playing for that contract. And I think that in this playoffs, it's going to come out. Oh, God, Morton. And I think in this playoffs, it's going to come out. I do see it being a 6. I don't see any 5-game series. I really don't. I see everything going 6. I think that while I get argued that the league, it's the top of the top and the bottom of the bottom, I think that there's a lot more parity than people think, especially in the top teams. When you have 13 teams scoring 100 points, I'm on board with Calgary winning, but I think that the Stars can easily take them to 7 or to 6, right? Excuse me. So the next one is the one that I think this is a consensus pick almost everywhere, but this is the Colorado Avalanche against the Nashville Predators. Right? I already know what Ashley picked on this one.
I mean, I've been saying this for, weeks. This is
so
what I wanted.
I'm sorry. I'm starting with Ashley on this one.
I wanted this one because Nashville has played Colorado extremely well during the season. I really think that Nashville has the ability to come in as an underdog and not sweep them, but surprise the Avs and knock them out in 7.
But isn't Soros still hurt?
Yes, Saros is hurt.
Yes.
I still think they got it.
Okay.
All right. Lance?
I'm picking the Avs in 7.
Wendy?
Because David Riddick is the starting goalie for the Nashville Predators.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Carolina. Why did I say Carolina? I have the Colorado Avalanche knocking the Trashville Predators out in 5 in this series because Nashville's offense does not. Yes, they have offense going this year, but their style offense tends to not work for playoff hockey.
That's a good point. That is a very, very good point. And I actually, this is the matchup that I was hoping for, but I didn't want it with Saros out. I mean, with Saros out, I think it does change, right? I think it changes it a lot because it puts a bigger question. Both goaltending there was a question mark on both goaltenders. Now it puts a bigger question mark on Nashville than it does on the Avalanche. And the Avalanche are going to live and die by their goaltending, right? They're a wonderful, wonderful team. They scored one more goal in this season than the Blues did. One more. That's it. Right? And a couple of those goals we gave them. We gave them that one goal by pulling the goalie with 4 minutes to go in a game that we probably could have won if we wouldn't have played so shitty in the second. But when it comes down to it, I think the Avalanche are just that much better of a team. This is the one, if anyone I thought would go 5, it would be this one. But now I think I do have a feeling it's going to go 6. But I do like the Avalanche getting to the next round. I can't see they have enough talent to get around anything other than an e-bug.
Yeah, and one thing
a blind one-eye e-bug.
One thing I'd like to say is I don't care if Avalanche win, they're going to get beat up a little bit by Nashville. They will, and it's going to be to whoever takes them on in the second round. If they win, it's going to be great for them because Colorado's going to be a little beat up.
We do not know about Figliano yet. We don't know how bad it is.
Last I heard, he wants to play, but the team right now is waiting to see how he is tomorrow. So it's kind of a day-to-day thing, but he wants to play. And trust me, if he can scoot out there at all and he's 80% of himself, he'll play.
Foligno's a tough player. He likely ends up playing either way.
Yeah. So let's talk about the series that we're all the most interested in. The 2 versus 3 Minnesota Wild against the St. Louis Blues. First game is Monday at 8:30 Central Daylight Time in Minnesota in the XL Center. I know where 3 or 4 of you going to go. So I'll start with Wendy. I'll start with the dissenter.
With this series, I get it. This is a Blues channel, but I am saying it. If Minnesota screws up by playing Cam Talbot game 1, they're going to have to go straight to Marc-Andre Fleury for game 2 because Cam Talbot against St. Louis is not the goalie Minnesota should go with because Talbot is not a playoff performer. We've seen it with him in Calgary. We've seen it with him in Edmonton. He's not a playoff goalie. You have a true playoff performer in net with Marc-Andre Fleury. I have this series going 7. I have the Wild winning it because yes,
you don't like the Blues. Just say it.
I don't like the Blues, but this isn't the main. This isn't the reason. It's the fact that I think the Wild finally find a way to beat St. Louis because I know St. Louis has their numbers and Minnesota, frankly, their style of play kind of works for playoff hockey.
Be respectful, guy.
Yeah, come on.
I did not even say a word when you were doing that, so it didn't work.
It took me too long to get to it. You know I love you, Nick. Okay, Ashley, we'll go with you.
I have the Blues in 6. I mean, I'm a homer.
Don't.
Lance.
All right, I'm going to caveat this because this is what's going to be the difference to me. Husso starts, Minnesota in 7. Bennington starts, the Blues in 6. I can't break it down any other way because that's just what I see. Is Husso going to play bad? No, I don't think so. But he's going to go up against Fleury, and Fleury tends to show up in the playoffs. So if Husso starts, nothing against the man. It's going to be a 7-game series, and Minnesota's going to pull it out at home in that 7th game. If Bennington starts, I think the Blues can win it at home in the 6th game.
Let me address something real quick.
Yeah.
Chris, don't tell me how to live my life.
Come on, young man.
Why? You tell him how to live his.
Oh.
I'm also older, wiser, and was his boss.
Oh.
Well, I'm older, wiser, and I'm kind of sort of your boss.
I haven't received a single payment for being on this show. We're just friends.
Ashley.
I knew that was coming.
Ashley, you have received the payment of appreciation.
There you go.
No, we're friends. I'm here by choice, not by obligation.
Nick's going, what the frick did I get myself into?
Just like Nick. Nick's a prime example. He's here by choice, not by obligation.
Oh,
so you
now
shouldn't
Ian
be hitting buttons.
Up. Now Ian shows up.
Hey, Ian, you'd be happy to know that I picked Minnesota in 7 if Husso starts. But you'd also be sad to know I picked Bennington. If Bennington starts, the Blues in 6. So I guess it's 50-50.
You know what? This is the one series where I wanted to get so cocky. I really did. If I thought
2 months about it.
He's right, guy.
I thought I totally disagree with this. I disagree with this.
I disagree with
bad.
it too. I disagree with that.
Right? St. Louis has developed itself to become a very, very, very good offensive team. Their defense is not as bad as everyone thinks it is.
Okay, here. If Scandella is returning from his injury in time for game 1, I'm not worried about the Blues defense. I can't believe I just said that.
I can't either.
We play better with him in the lineup.
You know, this is.
I said it.
Right. This is the one thing that I came off with. You know, you look at you say sometimes that in the regular season it doesn't matter, but this isn't one regular season. This is 4 regular seasons. You can go back 4 years the 2019, and I want to, at the number is 12-2-1 or 12-2-2. That I'm sorry, there's something to that. Minnesota, while Minnesota is a good team, and while they may have an edge in goaltending, I don't know how big of an edge they have in goaltending. I really don't. I get Marc-Andre Fleury. I get he's won 2 cups. I get he went to 3 straight finals. I get all that. At the same time, what is he, 34, 35, 36, talking about this being his last run, if not next to last run?
Can I ask you a question, Guy?
Yeah.
If you're in the Stanley Cup Finals, okay, you got to start a goalie. Do you start Phil Husso? I mean, if somebody says you got to take a goalie to win the series.
Okay, here's the problem. I don't know what he's done. No. I can't jump from the last day of the regular season to the finals. I can't do that.
All right. Okay. I'm asking you right now. First round, if somebody said, okay, Guy, for the Blues, you can, Bennington's hurt. You can have Husso or Fleury. Who would you take in a 7-game series?
By reputation, I would take Fleury.
Not reputation,
hold
by
on.
how good he's been in the playoffs.
That's right. But we don't know. I would not want to take. You're asking me to put a goalie who's never played for this team in front of this team. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're asking me to do something that would never that I can't see. You have to have. You were a goaltender, Lance. Mm-hmm. You had to have some trust with the guys that you played. You had to have some communication with them. You had to have some knowledge of how they were going to react in certain situations so you could set yourself up. Husso has that with the Blues. Does Fleury have that enough with the Wild? He's played 10 games with the Wild since the trade. I don't know if that's enough. I honestly don't know if that's enough.
I'm going to tell you, goalies do their thing. I don't care if you're playing in front of people you've never played with before. I don't care. Do you have a sense of trust? Yes, you are totally right on that, Guy. But goalies are in their own head. They're in their own minds. And they don't look at it as I've got these 3 guys in front of me that I've played with for 2 seasons. They look at it as I've got my teammates in front of me, and they don't even think about how many games they've played with them. They've got a job to do, but you are right. There is a sense of trust. And I do understand what you're saying. But I never looked at it that way. Maybe some goalies do, and you may be right on that, but I never did.
Even on the off chance that might be something that Fleury's considering, he went from Chicago where nobody had him. Defense left him high and dry practically every game to a team that has an operational defense. He is in so much better shape that I don't think that it's much in his head right now, because he knows that there is a better chance that these 2 defenders in front of me are going to do their job.
Yeah, guys. So yeah, you are right where you are more comfortable with people you've played with before. But a goalie's mindset, and if there's a goalie out there that's played that's telling me I'm wrong, please do, because maybe you experienced something different than I did in the 30 plus years I played the game, is that I'm focused on stopping the puck. Mm-hmm. Do I watch how the defense is set up, and do I say things to them from time to time? Yes. But I am so focused on that little piece of rubber that I don't pay a lot of attention to what other people are doing unless the puck comes down in my end.
And you've got to also pay attention to how Fleury operates. Like, Jordan Bennington's actually pretty quiet in net. Same with Husso. I don't really, like, in the games I've been there anyways, I didn't hear them communicating with the team. But Fleury, he will yell, I've got this, or I've got that. He is so good with communication that I don't think the 10 games are going to be something that hurts him. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with if they start him.
Yeah,
Fleury is not a normal goalie.
Exactly.
He's not.
Yeah.
Getting to see him half of the season I got to this year and seeing him play in person, the type of goalie he is, he's more of a team player than anything, but he tends to build that chemistry pretty quick for any team he plays on. Because
he's a charismatic man, and I think that he can just easily bounce into any kind of relationship with his teammates that's going to be good.
Yeah, and he doesn't lose his cool. You know, he's come if he's given him 3 goals, he doesn't lose his cool. And I think Nick will agree with me. How good do you think the Blackhawks would have been if they wouldn't have had Fleury in net for even games they lost?
Oh, they would have been blown out all season long.
We probably would have won 15 games.
Yeah. But guy, you are right. You do build rapport with people you play with, and yes, it takes a while to build that rapport. But with me, I didn't look at it that way. And I'm sure goalies are different, and you could be there. Somebody could come on, guy, and tell you you're right. I'm just telling you from my experience.
I get it. How did we switch from the Blues to the
because
Flower?
Flower is a phenomenal goaltender. Doesn't matter if he's on your team or against it. He's such a good.
He's also at the end of his career.
He is, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
He also has a very young team, right? He has a very young team. He has a team that has a new locker room that's still trying to figure out its identity. And we know this. They had a great season. I'm not taking that away from them. But his team is still trying to figure out this identity. This is Krill's team. This is nobody else's team out there. This is Krill Krapersov's team. And Krill's still young, and that team doesn't have a full identity. That team can fall apart very quickly. We saw it happen twice with the Blues. We saw it happen in the Winter Classic. They fell so far apart.
I think it's Foligno's.
Well, they came back in one of those 3 games.
I think.
Yeah, but we still won them.
Yeah,
we won all 3.
I think it's Foligno's team, but I want to address what somebody just said, that I'm always hateful or bashing Husso. No, I'm not. I like Phil Husso. I just think he is a 1B or a backup goalie. I ever since he came up, I've never thought he's the type of guy that could play 50 games in a year and get you where you need to be. Is that saying he's bad? No, because guys, there's only 62 goalies in the NHL. You got to be damn good just to get here. So he's a good goalie, and I'm not bashing him. I just look at it the way I look at it. If Husso's there, it's a 7-game series, and the Blues lose. But if Bennington's there, and it's
hard. It's hard. Who gives you the better chance to beat Minnesota?
Yeah.
Is it Husso or is it Bennington? I honestly don't know. Be honest. Bennington, other than the Avalanche game, has played better down the stretch. Mm-hmm. Now, bear in mind, yes, he hasn't faced the stiffer competition. Trust me, I've been told that. I got in a little Twitter tirade over this in a Twitter war. Bennington's just a piece of junk, and that's what I've been told. And Husso's the greatest goalie in the world. I look. It's going to come down to this. It's going to definitely come down to this. Doesn't matter if Husso starts. Doesn't matter if Bennington starts. It's going to matter how cohesive of a 5-man unit the Blues are against the Wild. If they are a solid, cohesive unit against the Wild, they beat the Wild hands down. If they not, this could be a disaster. Mm-hmm. Right? We haven't won a playoff game in almost 2 years. Right? The 2 games that we won, and Bennington hasn't won a playoff game since Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals in 2019.
And Husso's never even played in a playoff game.
Right?
Nope.
So there are some questions. Bear in mind, I do think that the Blues are the better team. I really do. Overall, I think the Blues are a better team. 5-on-5, maybe the Wild are a little bit better than the Blues. Special teams, we are tied for best in the league at 111.3. We're tied with and I forget what team it was. I had it pulled up earlier today.
I thought it was the Rangers, but
it's switched. It's the Maple Leafs.
Okay.
Right, the Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs and the Blues are tied at top, and then the Hurricanes and then the Rangers. Right. I just, if the, and I think this is one of those seasons where I think special teams are going to come out. Right. I think special teams are going to be the difference. If you've seen, I don't think refs are going to put their whistles away like everybody thinks they are.
Jason Nichols asked Lance a good question. You're a goalie. Is not winning in the playoffs a game in a while get in your head?
No.
Didn't think so.
A good goalie, whether it's a playoff game, whether it's a regular season game, whether it's a preseason game, you move on to the next game. If you've got something wrong, you go over it with the goalie coach. You look at the film and you figure out, were you hugging the post too much? Did you leave was your stick on the ice when that puck went through your legs? You're going through it. You're focused so much on your next opponent. You don't have time to think about what happened the night before, 2 nights before.
Truxton, I'm going to have to disagree with you because Krug can move it for a little man. He can speed on down that ice. Mikkola, he can get down the ice just fine. Scandella, okay, I'm going to say something nice about Scandella again. Oh my gosh, hell has definitely frozen over. But the speed that he showed to stop that puck from going into an empty net, he is phenomenal on his skates. Yeah. The D is fine with their speed.
And another thing, it's like I said before, guys, you've heard me say it, Ashley, you have, and I think Nick did too. Parayko looks like he's slow. Pronger looked like he's slow. It's because he's got a huge stride. But trust me, I've been close to Parayko, and I think Guy has it practiced too. And Parayko can move. For a 6'4", 6'5" guy, he can flat out move.
Right. His back was bothering first half of the season. You know what? And when it comes to Bennington, I'll tell you this. I think COVID bothered him a lot more than he thought it would. And I think that he's all over that now. Puck handling is the difference between Husso and Bennington in my eyes.
It is.
It really is.
Bennington is a much, much, much better puck handler.
Yeah. And I will say this, when Bennington's on, what you'll see from him is similar to Fleury. Doesn't make unnecessary movements, is very calm in control of his body, control of his stick, and knows what he wants to do and knows where that puck's going. When he's not on his game, he's all over the ice.
Right. No, I get it. And this is a good argument. Minnesota fans, think what you want to think. I love you. Yeah. I love Trexon. I love Ian. You guys have every right. You can tell us what you think. We're going to tell you what we think. This series, now I'll tell you what, had the Blues got home ice, the Minnesota fans would not be so cocky right now. Right. And that makes me more glad that they got home ice than they didn't. I like them being cocky because cocky usually costs you. I know it costs me all the time. So I don't want to get cocky, but I do see the Blues winning this series. It could be over quickly. However, I will go 7. Right? And I don't want to go to the next round. I don't. When all the rounds are set up, we'll go and we'll do a second round one. And we'll go and do the second rounds as we go. I agree. Our defense is sad. We just need to make sure we get out and match tempos on forechecks. And Guy has said to emphasize the 1,000,000 times the neutral zone. Yeah, absolutely right.
Chris, that's wrong. He's emphasized the neutral zone 2 trillion times.
Yeah, probably.
But I think what we really need to emphasize, which really seems to confuse Minnesota, is the cycle.
Right? Yeah, no, if we get on the cycle, watch out. A series isn't a series until the road team wins a game or the home team loses. That's the saying. So, Wes, I kind of agree with you there, my friend.
And Wes, I will tell you this. I've been at XL Energy Center, and if Minnesota gets behind 2 to 3 goals, their fans will turn on them. Their fans will start booing when Fleury makes the save. Yeah. They'll start booing when they shoot the puck over into the net behind the goal. They tend to turn on people pretty quickly.
Right. No, this is if the Blues have got to become that cycling team. I have watched this team this season so close. When they cycle, they win. When they cycle 2, 3, 4 times in a game, 5 times in a game, they win that game. They wear you out. They cause opportunities. They cause penalties. They cause confusion. They cause you to get away from what you were doing. Right? I absolutely, completely believe that if the Blues get on any amount of cycle, this is over. This is over. And for Minnesota, it's Krill. It's Krill the Thrill, what he does, right? They go as far as he goes. They only have 4 guys above 50 points. 4 guys above 50 points. We have 9. 9 guys above 50 points. That's more than any other team. more than any other team in the league. Okay, defense ramps up in the playoffs. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It sure didn't in 19 because there weren't a whole lot of 2-1, 3-1 games. They were a lot more 6-4, 6-5s. Okay, I'm in trouble.
No, not you. Bob is. And no,
Bob.
I didn't change my mind on Scandella. I still don't like the man, but I can see that, apparently he's not going anywhere and we suck without him. So,
Right? Oh, E. Listen to E. Bikes don't belong on these. Right? Oh, man. Good show. So the last thing I want to talk with, I really want to get on this E-bug. This E-bug bothers me, and it's bothering me a lot. Okay? Who did the Ducks play yesterday? Who did the Ducks play yesterday? I can't remember.
The Stars.
Stars, right? The Stars had a half-blind backup goalie. Half-blind. The guy was blind in one eye. And this is who you choose? Come on.
I love it.
No, I'm telling you, if I'm the Ducks, I protest. I protest that game. Now, it doesn't mean anything, but I protest it.
Can I ask you a question?
There's no way that guy would have passed an NHL physical.
Probably not, but you know what? If he did a decent job with one eye, I say more power to him. Yeah. Should he have been the guy there? No. Should not have been the guy. I love him to death.
You know what was Foster? I want to ask Wendy this. What was Foster's backstory?
Scott Foster is an accountant that did not play a hockey game in almost 13
Yeah, it was close to 15 years. It's close to 15, yeah.
It was about 15 years since college for competitive hockey. Mm-hmm. He plays beer league down the street from the United Center, and that's how he's our emergency backup, and he's the GOAT of emergency backups. He's sorry.
A legend. He's a legend in Chicago. Trust me. Oh, that man doesn't have to buy a beer, does he, Wendy?
Yeah.
No.
I want to bring this up, Trexon. Are you high? Are you absolutely high? Are you drunk right now? No, I'm serious. Trexon, go look at the Winter Classic. Go look at the 3 games the Blues played against them. When they got on the cycle, you didn't break it up. In fact, I think at one point they kept you guys in the zone for 2.5 minutes.
In fact, the only reason that Minnesota made a comeback in that second game that had to go to overtime was because the Blues played prevent defense. Yep. If the Blues kept cycling, that would have never happened.
I think it was the third game.
Was it? I thought it was the second and the third when we came back, but I could be reversed.
Oh.
And if you notice in that loss, what else did the Blues do? Not only just play defense, but if they get near the blue line, they shoot the puck in and chase it. They never brought it across the blue line after that with any authority. And I'm guys big on the neutral zone, and I am too. And I think the Blues are better in the neutral zone than Minnesota is by far.
Now the excuse. We had 7 starters out of the Winter Classic.
We had quite a bit of starters out too.
Yeah,
we had so many people out with COVID that we had practically a whole line.
Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
We had 2 lines that were Thunderbirds. Yeah. Right? Yeah. We had 2 lines.
So I really don't want to hear that. Plus, you say that, if it goes to special teams, that's when the Blues leave. The problem is that Minnesota takes bad penalties all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, I do. You're welcome, Trexon. Don't take me wrong, my friend.
No, don't.
You're absolutely welcome to your opinion, and I'm welcome to mine. So that's what it is. We love you. The excuses are gonna fly.
Hey, they should have been used to the cold.
Let's get back to the E-bug, right? I'm sorry. When okay.
Brag about your E-bug, man. Brag about it.
He didn't get the win.
But he's the most famous.
Did was preserve it.
He's the most famous E-bug of all time. Seriously.
No, he's not.
He's the first. He's not.
First. Ayers is. Ayers got the win.
Yeah, but
he's the first.
If you
He
watch
wasn't
that,
the first.
if you watch that game,
He was not the first E-bug.
He was the first in the modern NHL era to actually play as an emergency backup. The last time an actual emergency backup happened was back in the 1930s with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Okay.
And one thing I will give him, Foster, there was a few tough saves he had to make.
And he was playing against the Winnipeg Jets that made it to the conference final that year.
What the F is an e-bug? Well, it's something that you get online, kind of like an online STD.
Yeah, no, it's an emergency backup goalie. Each team has to have one person in the arena that can play goalie. Should both teams, or should a team lose both of their goalies? What's going on, Ash?
Oh, I'm just looking at who was playing, like who the scratches were for Winter Classic.
Was Perron out during the Winter Classic?
No, we were down. Bortuzzo and Wallman were scratched. Minnesota scratched Brodin and Eriksson Ek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm still not seeing where there were 7 of them. But
I don't think there were that many.
No, there weren't.
I don't think they had 7 starters. I don't know who they had on COVID, though. And they didn't put COVID in there. They didn't put COVID protocols in the injury.
If you're talking about 7 guys that are hurt, guy, I'm going to tell you something. By the time you get to 30, 40, 50 games in the season, you've got some kind of injury. Whether it's
they had 7 starters out of the Winter Classic, and I don't remember that.
I don't
remember that at all.
I know that they were down Eriksson Ek.
Yeah.
And Brodin, but I don't remember there being 7. And I don't know. I mean, we had in that game that makes me, wonder is we had Mikkola and Perunovic and Costin and Brown. So, I mean, we had several people that weren't, in our that aren't in our lineup now.
Yeah.
COVID ran through our team too around the same time. Actually, I think that after that game's when Bennington had it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Bennington got it before that game, didn't he?
No, he got it after.
After the game. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought Bennington got COVID in the beginning of December.
No, he got it in January.
Yeah,
because we went into the Tampa and Florida back-to-back.
In the beginning of December. I'm almost dead certain Bennington.
And I'm almost dead certain that he got it when we played Tampa. And...
Let me look at my notes here.
That's what Google's for.
Yeah.
Well, I can't Google as well as all you guys can when I'm hosting the show, right?
All right, let's see when he was placed on.
COVID ran through everybody's team, and you know what?
Guy is correct. He was placed on COVID protocol December 2nd.
Because that's when we had Charlie Sideburns comes up.
Yep.
That's when we had Ellis come up. That's when we had the other, not Ellis, the kid that we traded to the Devils come up. I can't think of his name now. That's when we had all of that come up because Husso ended up going on it too or got hurt. Husso got hurt in that game. Game got tied, and that's when Chucky Sideburns comes in and we got the win. That was in December. I remember that. I think Bennington may have gotten hurt in January, but he didn't have COVID. Right? Gillis. That's it. Gillis. And then who's the other guy that they're looking at now at being the backup next year? It starts with a H2, I think. Hoffer. Yeah. Right? Hoffer played 1 or 2 games. Gillis played a game. Sideburns played 4 or 5 games. 6 games, I think, because he was 5-0. Right?
No, he played 5 games, started 4.
Started 4, but he was 5-0.
Yeah, because he got the win for the.
He got that win. So that's why I knew it was December. So now I'm just quiet. No, we're way off the e-bug thing.
You guys.
The NHL has to fix the e-bug. It needs to be. He needs to be a NHLPA player and he needs to be he needs to be able to pass an NHL physical, right? And I'm sorry, if I am LA, I protest that game. I'm sorry, I protest that game. Think about this. Here's a game, we're up. Our two goalies get hurt, and what do you give us? A half-blind goalie. A guy that can't see out of his left eye.
It happens.
No, that's not, the thing is, that's not right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I love the E-Bug. I'm on the side, keep E-Bugs because they're legends.
Okay, no, wait, hold on. I didn't say get rid of the E-Bug. I said fix the E-Bug.
No, I think this way of E-Bug is the perfect way.
No, it's not. It's not even close. It's not even close. What if Foster would have lost you that game?
I don't think the Hawks would have cared because we were already eliminated from playoffs at that point.
Yep.
And Scott Foster, yes, the next game when he played in beer league, he let in 9 goals. Granted, he probably had a few too many to drink before the game because he was a legend at that point. But the fact that Scott Foster and the way he became a major story of a terrible Chicago Blackhawks team that year was great because at that point, Scott Foster became I believe it was the 8th goalie of the season the Hawks have went through.
Mm-hmm.
And teams who have that issue had the great privilege of having a legendary moment of a emergency backup to play for them. It's just something to get the fans involved where they love it. And win or lose, it's a legendary moment. The goalie themselves is going to go down in the history books of being.
Should the goalie have to pass an NHL physical?
I don't. Yeah, I think that would be nice. But real quick, wasn't that the year that Crawford and Subban were both hurt?
It was the year Crawford had his first concussion. We had to go to Anton Forsberg,
yep,
as our starter. Which God, his nickname in Chicago was Beach Ball for a reason. He could not give a damn beach ball. Then we went down to.
Hold on, Trexan, you're wrong. That's not the case. The E-Bug is by the team whose stadium, the home team stadium.
Whoever the home team is.
Team stadium is. So you just can't pick whoever you want to be your goalie. It's the home team. In fact, the Blues had to use Tampa Bay's E-Bug earlier this season.
Well, we didn't use him. We just dressed him as a backup.
He was on our roster.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'll call you out on that one. Right?
Yeah, so at that point, the Hawks had Forsberg, Crawford, who started the season, got a concussion, ended his season. It was JF Berube, Glass, Colin Delia made his NHL debut on the Scott Foster game.
Mm-hmm.
We had a couple other guys.
Wasn't that a year with Subban? Didn't Subban play a little bit for you guys that year?
No, Subban wasn't with the Hawks yet.
He was already gone then?
No, he wasn't even with the organization yet.
That was the following year then that he came along.
Yeah, Jason Nichols is asking you to go apply for the E-Bug, Lance.
I could do it if my balance wasn't off. Heck, if a guy with one eye can do it, I can do it.
No,
I could do it.
Yeah, you could do it.
You know that it just.
No,
it's like okay, both our catchers are hurt. Hey, you over there, come play catcher for that team. That don't work.
That'd work. It doesn't work, but I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I'd be amused by it.
Yeah, I know I'll die on this hill alone. That's fine.
No, guy, we're not saying we don't agree with you. I fully agree that they should be paid. They should be part of the league, and they should be part of the players' union. I agree with you.
And they should have to pass an NHL physical.
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
I do not like what Dallas, and not only that, Dallas Didn't Dallas jump a spot because of that win?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
Maybe,
Dallas jumped a spot. Dallas was the A seed. Because they win that game, they jumped a spot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So tell me, if I'm the Nashville Predators, and the Ducks, I protest that game. I protest the results of that game. And I go back and say, I think that the playoffs should flip-flop, that Dallas should not be allowed to count those 2 points as a win when they put in a blind goaltender for the other team.
Here's the problem. Guy. Both teams know going into it who their goaltender is. If there was a problem with the one-eyed goaltender, then somebody on Dallas should have said, that's great that he's going to try to do it, but we want somebody else. And the league would have had to call somebody else in because both teams have to agree that that's their backup goalie.
Yeah, but you don't think you're ever going to use the guy, right? That's hindsight. That's hindsight.
But you
that's
still have to be prepared. So if it was already approved that was the backup goalie, nobody's expecting two goalies to get injured, so that's what they got.
I'm sorry. You put in a guy, first of all, and then the liability. You put in a half-blind guy. What if he'd have gotten hurt?
I'm sorry, Guy. Every time you go, you put in a half-blind, I'm picturing this guy with a cane that can see out of one eye. Give me them pads.
A Pirate's patch,
Give me them pads. Yeah,
with his peg leg and his hook hand.
A little bird on his shoulder.
He could not see out of one of his eyes.
Polly want a puck.
Polly want a puck. Arg! I'ma stop the puck.
I'm sorry. There's some stuff going on there.
Shiver me timbers! It's coming my way.
I don't think Nick and Ashley and I disagree with you. It's just funny the way.
Nick disagrees with me. He'll tell you that.
Both teams do have to agree on who the emergency backup is going into the game.
I said.
The emergency backup is called, I believe it's 12 hours before the game, and both teams have to agree on who it is because multiple teams have multiple emergency backup.
They do.
And both teams have to agree on it. That's what happens. If it gets down to the emergency backup situation, you see it happen. You get either a legendary moment or a arg moment that Guy is having with the Don Cherry sounding like right now.
Oh, kiss mine.
Arg! Shoot the puck at me. Arg!
Shiver me timbers.
Shiver me timbers. It went through me legs.
Hey, I'm the Navy guy. You can knock that shit off now.
Yarg!
Oh my goodness, what an hour and a half this was. See, this is why I know that we could do a 2-hour or longer show keep people interested. I know we could. We've had double-digit people, 11, 12, it doesn't matter. We've had in the double digits watching us this whole time. I thank each and every one of you. It was a fun show. Wendy, man, thanks, man. I really do. The way that you gladly jump on this show without, you asked me, hey, do you need me on? Can I come on? I appreciate it so much. It really does raise the level of this show. And I just got to say thank you.
I just appreciate you being on, dude. You're so awesome.
No problem.
All right. And then Lance, we know what you're going through. We know, we all love the drop. We love the drop. I listen to it. I know everybody else tries to listen to it or does. We love the drop. We love giving you that opportunity to still have your voice heard, even though you can't. So I just really want to say thank you for coming on and being part of the show.
Thanks, Timmy. And thank you for having me on. And it's always fun, whether we're serious, whether we're joking around, whether we're doing a little bit of both, like with the backup goalie. It's always great to be on and with guys like you and of course Nick and of course Ashley, our lone female voice here. But it's always fun, and I appreciate everybody that comes on here. And I don't know, I always look forward to it, and I just want to thank my stupid self for talking about a pirate goalie, because now I'll have a dream about that.
You know what, Trex, and I got a bet for you, dude. First of all, I have my NHL bracket challenge. get in it. It's Hawaii Blues Fan, one word, HAWAII BLUES FAN. The password is the password is Let's Go Blues, capital L for Let's, capital G for Go, capital B for Blues. Put your stuff in there. If Minnesota beats the Wild next season, the next game that the Blues play on against the Wild, I will wear a Minnesota Wild jersey on the show. However, if the Blues beat Minnie, you have to come on my show wearing a Blues jersey. Your choice. There's the deal. Right? There's the deal.
I am not involved in this deal. I will never wear a Minnesota jersey.
I never
here's
would
the
do
thing.
a bet like that.
Well, here's the thing. There's a little, again, backstory. If you know me, you know in 2017, I lost a shipmate that was very, very close to me to cancer. I mean, it was sudden. It's like one day my hip hurts, the next day I'm putting him in a grave. He was from Minnesota. If you remember, I'd done a couple of shows for his, where I've had his family, had him as fan of the game in that. Dan was from Minnesota. He was a big Wild fan. When the Wild beat the Blues in 6, I was there. He was with me that night. So I wouldn't be hurt to do that. I wouldn't be hurt to do that, but you know what? I'm also willing to put my money where my mouth is. There you go, guys. That's the password to the group. It's got to be just like that. Just like that. Capital LETS, capital GO, capital BLUES. That's the password. Right? That's the password. You can put it in there. So Trexon, that's my deal, bud. All you got to do is accept it. And maybe he'll message me later. But I love that we get fans from other games. I mean, I'm surprised the story so far. Vinci probably hates me because I've blown up on him so many times. But you know what? I love that we get fans from other games that'll come out here. Yes, I can't see your entry. I can just see that you put it in. I can tell you what the name of the entries are here real quick. Big Bob is in the Schnitz. Let's Go Blues. Slapshot Jones. Aaron Coulter. Jose Dynamite's Dynamite Picks. I think that's Steve G. C. Shockley. Cujo 29. Sports Street. Bandura Nation. Windy City Hockey Bracket. Chris Lambert's Primary Picks. And Strollin. Those are the ones that I have. Right? Guys, have a great night. Oh, I don't have a pen. I'll DM you later. Oh, are you accepting the challenge there, Trexon? If you are, that's great. I love it, man. I love it. Guys, have a great night. Thank you so much. You made it. We are off tonight or tomorrow. We're off tomorrow. We're going to take a breather. Then we've got, Blues versus Wild in Minnesota. 8:30, 8 p.m. is the Blue Note Fan Report pregame show. I'll tell you what, Trexon and Ian, you need to get, you know what? I'm challenging you to get as many Minnesota fans on the show as possible. Because you know what? It'll get my Blues guys to get something on. I'm not doing a 2-hour pregame. Might do a 1 hour. That is possible. I'll do a 1 hour. So I'll come on at 7:30. I'll come on at 7:30. I can do that. I can do a 1 hour. I'll do a 1 hour there, Jason. You can say who's in your final if you want, but I'll do a 1 hour pregame Monday. If you guys can, you can. If you can't, you can't. No big deal. I just want to say again, I got to put this out to everybody for this season. Thank you. Right? Thank you to each and every one of you who've watched the shows, who've put up with the bullshit that I've had to deal with. You getting, for those of you who got slambasted by someone telling you bad things about me and we're able to ignore it, I greatly appreciate that. And for all that you've done for this show, for this season, thank you. Doesn't mean the show's over. No, we're going all the way. We're going to be doing shit all through the summer. We'll be doing stuff for the draft. I'm going to, maybe I'm going to try and do an interview series. I'm going to work really hard to get interviews done and things like that. Which clip are you talking about? Is it that clip?
Which one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I think you know which one.
Yeah, I guess I guess I do know, and I could. You know what, Wendy, for you, I got no issue, my friend, none whatsoever. Because that's how much that's how much you mean to me, Wendy, and I mean that in the best way I can. Your friendship means that much to me that
He's one of the nicest Blackhawk fans I've ever met, if not the nicest.
Yeah, well, because there's not many nice Blackhawks fans.
Oh, I didn't say that. It wasn't me.
All right. Here's another one. Oh my God, Scandella's the worst fucking defenseman, and I'm sorry, I'm going off. I'm pissed. I'm so sick and tired here. Scandella's so fucking bad. He can't play worth a shit. Fucking trade Scandella for a goddamn bag of pucks right the fuck now. It don't work that way, people.
Well, and you know what, guys? I'm sorry if I didn't say everybody's name. E, you're one of those, man. You're one of those that's been with me all the time. I'm not going to be able to get everybody, but I do appreciate each and every one of you. You mean a lot, and you keep me going. And this isn't easy to do. Wendy can tell you that. Lance can tell you that. Ashley can tell you that. This is not. I mean, Ashley's tried to do it when I've been MIA, and she's like giving up.
Tough.
So
yeah, it's tough.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot to do this. Yeah, Wendy. Everyone loves your face during that rant.
Yep, you look so like what's going on here.
You know what's funny is, and this is a little gross. That's when I still had my catheter in, and I did not pee so much as that moment when Guy was doing that. I was just peeing all over myself with the catheter on. It was great. Didn't have to get up. Was laying down. It was awesome. See what you get on this show? You get honesty, the truth.
Oh shit.
Okay.
That is the definition of TMI right there.
Thank you for that imagery.
Too much intestines? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness. And no, Army did not beat Navy. Navy beat Army. So you just be absolutely quiet there.
We're getting that now. Oh my.
Right?
Jason, the reason why I'm not used to hearing cussing like that on YouTube is just because on my channel I try to stay away from it just because I know I have young viewers on my channel. Only in my life
too, and I try not to. That was one of those.
It was just out of nowhere when you did it.
He'd had enough, and he'd reached his breaking point, and he just couldn't stay quiet.
And I wasn't there.
And Ashley wasn't there.
Yeah, I was done. I was done with the Scandella as the worst player ever. I was absolutely done with it. Wasn't gonna deal with it anymore. Right? So for Trexton on this one, I just gotta say this, and Ashley, you can cover your ears. Anchors away, my boy. Anchors away. And I don't remember the rest of it. So everyone, this is Guy, the Y Blues fan, for Nick from Windy City Hockey, Lance from The Drop, and Ashley Slapshot Jones saying aloha, mahalo, and we'll see you all again Monday night, 7:30 Central Time, for a 1-hour playoff pregame show. Aloha.